Have you ever felt caught in a loop where feeling down or anxious leads you to a habit you can't seem to break, and that habit just makes you feel worse? You're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into the intricate connection between our mental health and addiction, a topic that affects millions but is often misunderstood. It's not just a matter of willpower, it's a matter of brain chemistry. So, let's start with the science. Deep inside our brains, we have pathways that control our rewards, emotions, and decision-making. Think of it like a complex electrical grid. This is where dopamine, the so-called feel-good neurotransmitter, comes into play. When we experience something pleasurable, our brain releases dopamine, making us feel happy and motivated to do it again. Now, here's the crucial part. Both mental health conditions like depression and anxiety, and addictive substances or behaviors, tap into this very same reward system. For example, someone with depression might have lower levels of dopamine activity, leading to feelings of flatness and a lack of joy. A substance like alcohol or a behavior like excessive online gaming can temporarily flood the brain with dopamine, creating a powerful sense of relief and pleasure. The brain essentially says, "Hey, I remember this. This makes me feel better." On the other hand, someone with an anxiety disorder might have an overactive amygdala, the brain's fear center. A substance that calms the nervous system can feel like a lifeline, silencing the constant alarm bells. The problem is that these quick fixes are not sustainable. They are borrowed happiness. This leads us directly into what experts call the vicious cycle. It's a powerful trap that can be incredibly difficult to escape. Imagine this scenario. A person is struggling with intense social anxiety. The thought of going to a party or even a work meeting fills them with dread. One day, they have a drink to calm their nerves, and it works. Suddenly, they feel more relaxed, more sociable. Their brain logs this experience. The next time they face a similar situation, their brain nudges them, "Remember what helped last time." Over time, this becomes a go-to coping mechanism. Instead of developing social skills or addressing the root cause of the anxiety, they rely on the substance to get through. But here's the twist. Chronic use of substances like alcohol actually changes the brain's chemistry. It can decrease the natural production of calming neurotransmitters, making the underlying anxiety even worse when the substance wears off. The anxiety is now more intense than it was before, which creates an even stronger urge to use the substance for relief. This is the cycle. A mental health struggle leads to self-medication, which in turn exacerbates the original mental health issue. It's not just about alcohol, Fred. It could be overeating to numb emotional pain from trauma, compulsive shopping to get a dopamine hit during a depressive episode, or using stimulants to combat fatigue and a lack of motivation. The pattern is the same. The very thing that seems to be a solution becomes part of the problem, tightening its grip with every rotation of the cycle. This is where the concept of a dual diagnosis or co-occurring disorder becomes so important. For decades, the medical system often treated addiction and mental health as separate issues. Jude. Go to one specialist for your depression and another for your substance use. The problem with this siloed approach is that it's like trying to fix a leak in your roof while ignoring the hole that's letting the rain in. If you treat the addiction without addressing the underlying anxiety or trauma, the person is highly likely to relapse because their primary coping tool is gone and the original pain is still there. Conversely, if you only treat the mental health condition but ignore the addiction, the substance use will continue to undermine any progress made in therapy. It can interfere with medications, disrupt sleep, and sabotage the very brain chemistry you're trying to rebalance. True, effective treatment requires an integrated approach. It means looking at the whole person, not just a collection of symptoms. A dual diagnosis acknowledges that these two conditions are intertwined, feeding off each other. The treatment plan, therefore, must address both simultaneously. It's about breaking the cycle from both ends. This approach has been shown to be far more effective, leading to better long-term outcomes and a more stable recovery. It's a shift from asking which problem is worse to how are these problems working together and how can we dismantle their partnership. So, what does this integrated pathway to recovery actually look like? It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but a multifaceted approach tailored to the individual. First and foremost is therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a powerhouse in this area. It helps people identify the negative thought patterns and behaviors that fuel both their mental health struggles and their addictive urges. For example, with CBT, you might learn to challenge the thought "I could unhandle this without a drink" and replace it with a more empowering belief, while also developing practical strategies to manage anxiety. More mindfulness and meditation are also incredibly valuable tools. They teach you to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment and without immediately reacting to them. This creates a crucial space between an urge and an action. Instead of being swept away by a wave of craving or panic, you learn to ride it out, knowing that it will pass. This builds resilience and self-control. Medication can also play a vital role. For some, antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications can help stabilize brain chemistry, making it easier to engage in therapy and resist cravings. There are also specific medications that can help reduce cravings for certain substances. It's important that this is managed by a psychiatrist who understands the complexities of dual diagnosis to ensure the medications work in harmony. And perhaps the most crucial element of all is support. D. This cannot be overstated. Recovery is not a solo journey. A strong social support system is like a safety net. This can include supportive family and friends, support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, or Smart Recovery, and peer support specialists who have walked a similar path. Sharing your struggles with people who understand, without judgment, lifts an enormous weight. It breaks the isolation that so often accompanies both addiction and mental illness, reminding you that you are not alone in this fight. Stay. Connection is the antidote to the shame and secrecy that allows these conditions to thrive. The journey of recovering from a dual diagnosis is not a straight line. There will be good days and there will be challenging days. But the message I want to leave you with today is one of hope and resilience. Recovery is absolutely possible. The human brain has an incredible capacity for change and healing, a concept known as neuroplasticity. With the right integrated care, persistence, and a strong support system, you can rewire those neural pathways. You can learn new, healthier ways to cope with life's challenges. You can break the vicious cycle and build a life that is not defined by your struggles, but by your strength. It's about embracing the process, being kind to yourself, and celebrating every small victory along the way. Your past does not have to dictate your future. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help. Talk to a doctor, a therapist, or a trusted friend. There are resources available, and you don't have to navigate this alone. Remember, asking for help is a sign of incredible strength. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to understand this important topic. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on mental health and well-being. Share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.